So here we are. We're going live today. Again, it's Saturday, so it seems like Saturday is going to be the day now, and we're continuing on OBS for sure. I will just wait the 30 seconds until it's 1 p.m. so that everybody can join. So let's see. Maybe let's switch over here to that scene. Yeah, if everything comes up, any questions also, just go to the chat, please. I will try to have an eye on it. It's always a little bit hard. Okay, let's start. So what is the current state? I don't know if you guys watched the last video. The current state I will just present it. It's about OBScene again. So I want to continue on the UI here. So for that, maybe let's hop over to this setup and let's just start doing it. So Visual Studio is open. It just created a new branch so that you guys can follow what I'm doing. I'm trying to commit and push more than I did last time. So if I start the app now, let's see if it works. It should run and bring up a window. Here it is. So I can close this window. The app still runs. I know that because I have an icon here, which is like the OBScene icon. I can double click the icon to reopen it and close it again. That's pretty nice. And what you don't see, but what I see currently is in the top left corner, I have my mask running. So if I switch the scene real quick, for a second, watch here in this area. So for a second, you will see my face hopping over, and then immediately you will see like it disappearing a circle, which I saw the whole time. There it is. And now I have a circle in this corner here. I have a circle here so that I know that stuff is hidden for you guys. Let me switch back. And now the circle switched back as well. So it's kind of working. Currently, the only issue I have currently is that this dialog is kind of useless. So I want to continue on designing this today. So what I want to do is I want to ensure that we have some controls here so that we can set up the scenes accordingly. And I can move around the circles, which you currently don't see. Should be fun. And do a little more about that. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's stop the program here. And let's go directly to the Forms Designer. So we're doing this with Microsoft Forms. Let me bring in the toolbox and maybe the properties here. So that way we can have everything in one screen and then you cannot see it. So I need to be, let me hop over to this screen so you actually see everything here. So the only thing that you will not see, if I go here to the menu here, to the toolbox, if we are lucky, you see this here, clicking me there. Yeah. But besides of that, you will not see it. So what is it that we're going to do? So we have some stuff working, because the status bar works. We have a tray icon running. That's the thing there. I showed this in the last video. Links should be in the description. So if you want to catch up on that, just go there. So what would be nice if today, let's say in this area, the first thing, and let's just start easy. I want to have maybe a list of all scenes that OBS currently provides for us. So we have the logic program for that already. So let's see if we can make it happen to have a list. So what can we do? I think we have data grid view. Yeah, not really. There's the thing called list view, which is kind of interesting. I will show that in a second. And the list view is kind of, so if you want to know what this is, the list view, it is kind of the thing that in Windows Explorer appears if you go this here. This is probably not a list view, but this is what a list view is. You have multiple columns and you can control those columns. So list view is pretty mighty. So what we will do on the list view and we can right click this, I think, and then edit columns. So here's a column editor for the list view. So let's add a column to that list view, and let's give it the text scene name. Okay, so let's start with that. So you have this. So you don't see columns. That is because the view style of this list view, I think here is currently on large icon, but we want to have it on details. And as soon as you put it on details, you see columns here appearing. So that is what this is, right? You can switch in Windows Explorer between icons, large, small icons, and so on. And here you can do the same. Let me edit the columns and give it a little bit more width. Let's say 300 or something like that. So now we have a little bit more width. I don't have a second column. I don't even know if I need one. Let's just give this thing a name so that we can access this in code. This is the OBScene list view. Let's call it this way. Okay, so now what we need to do, we need to populate this thing in code. Okay, so, oh, by the way, first things first, let's anchor it to all sides. So what I mean by that is, let's see, if I anchor this thing, what happens is if I resize my form, my group box is anchored, and now my my whole thing is anchored with it, and it will take the space. I put a minimum size on the form. I cannot make it smaller than this. I showed that in the last video. So here we are. What this is showing us is the scene. Oh, by the way, we can do better than that. We could go to this thing and tell it, where is that? Where's the items on the status bar? The items, let's edit this. So we can give it a tool text, so I don't have to explain what this is. Current selected OBS scene. So let's go and let's try this out. Let's start this. And now if I hover over this, it should, in theory, give me a tooltip. It's not doing it. What did I forget? Wait a second. Where's the status bar? Items. Is it not? Current scene. Current selected. Link behavior. System default. So I gave it a tooltip. Auto tooltip. What is auto tooltip doing? True? I'm not sure. Always a good idea. Let's see. Is it showing us now the tooltip if I hover over it? No, not really. I'm not sure what to do about that. It should show a tooltip text here, but it does not. Okay, anyways. So now we need to populate this list. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And the one thing is we go over to the code view here. And this is the code view of my form in Windows Forms. And we already have some overloads, main form closing, main form load. So that's what it is. So we added a queue watcher. All of this needs to go at some point in time, but for now it's okay. We are hooking up events, all of that. Pretty interesting. So OBS is connected. And then we can say, let's say, call a function here. Okay, not putting more stuff in it. Fill OBS scenes. Let's do that. This function does not exist. So let's give it a try. Create method fill OBS scenes. Here it is. And here we go. So we have some logic here. I cannot remember what it was. OBS helper. So what is it giving? Load default scene, load settings. It could be load settings here. It's giving us OBS scene settings. So let's see. Let's use the static method to load those settings. Var OBS settings should be equal to OBS, what was it? Helper? Helper? Do we need to reference this? Yeah, we don't have logic OBS yet. And then load settings async, interesting. So we should await this. In order to await this, we have to do this async void. Is that an option? And then we can say await, and we should rename this to async in order to match the thing loads settings async, and this needs a file path. So there was another thing, I cannot remember, where we said get the file path. Was there something? Load default scene settings? What is it? Tries to load from the expected default. Yeah, why not? Load default scene settings. So if OBS settings, can it be null? Let's actually check. I forgot how this works. Let's start the app. And then what's going on? This is await, this is async, and this is cannot await void. Oh yeah. So, okay, let's make it a task so that you can avoid it. Okay, whatever. So here we go. Let's give it a try. And now what do I get? I get one settings for codingfreaks. Oh, that's what it is. Gotcha. So we actually have profiles. So this is the profile in OBS. I forgot you have profiles. And this is giving me every profile that it finds. And then under the profile, there you go. So what we actually need is on top of that, we should have a combo box with profiles. So let's give it a label. And let's give this the text profile. Hold on. Here we go. Let's put it somewhere. You get those nice lines. So let's do it this way. And let's give it a combo box here. That should be the right one. And you see this nice little lane. You see the snap lines here. So actually, Windows Forms is pretty nice about it. If you drag it, this line coming up here tells me where the text would align. Okay, I like that. So let's do this. The profile selection. Let's give it a name. Let's say OBS profile select. Here you go. Let's anchor this as well on the right side as well. So it should be top, left, right anchored, right? So that means if I do this, you see in the preview, it grows with it. Okay, so here we go. And then let's actually set this to enabled false. I show in a second why. Let's do that. Okay. We don't need this anymore, this breakpoint. Here we go. So this is disabled because we have no profile selected. That should be the logic here. Okay, so now we need to populate this. Okay, so what I will do is I will say, listen, the OBS profile select is that items is OBS settings keys. Stop. So the items I cannot, how was that? Property is items add range. There you go. This. Okay, let's see if the scene is populated. Let's see. Okay, he's not cool with it. Cross-thread, cross-thread operation. So here we are again, because we're in async, we need to, we have this already. We need to invoke this. Invoke, if you're not familiar, means whatever, in simple terms, whatever I put into that function will be invoked. And I think there's an invoke async awaits. So I can invoke whatever is executed here will be executed on the main thread. Okay, let's see. Is that working? It seems so. So now we can, this is a collection, not cool. I selected something. And this is not working. So the keys here, what is that? At range, what is the keys? The keys is, this should be a string, right? Okay, so that's a string. So wait a second. Keys is, should be a list of strings. Oh, it's a key collection. Select key, I'm not sure, to string. No. Is that what it is? So Does he want me to select the... No, it is... Now I have this, not good, to array. It's a little bit too much here. So let me extract this. Var keys is this, and then keys at range. So it wants a param of objects, and what this is the keys is a dictionary. Keys select many. KK. I'm not sure. Let's see what it is. I am totally not sure what this keys is. Keys is, what's the type of keys? View. It's a key diction. It's a key collection. That's why he's not sure. Okay. Let's see. OBS settings. Select K key. And now it should be just the key. Let's see. No. Also not good. He's giving the iterator to array. So what about this? Keys covariant from string to object. Yeah, could be. Let's see. What do you want? Now we have the label codingfreaks. Okay, not good, because he says, okay, this needs something. Is that? I hate this a lot, but we get the warning. So he wants a list of objects or an array of objects, and we're giving it an array of strings. So he doesn't like that. Anyways, we now have the selection. Problem is we can type here, and I hate this, that we can type. We want this to be just a picker, a selection picker. So let's see, two things. Let's go to the design mode. Let's click on it, and then drop down list is a thing. If you select drop down list as the drop down style, what it means, you cannot type in it, I think. Just, you know, it's long ago that I worked with WinForms. So, but now I cannot type, there's no cursor, and I just can't select. Problem being, now I always have to select it after I loaded it. So also stupid. So let's go and click this, and let's say if keys any, let's go. Then if we have any key, then OBS profile select, and then you have this selected index is 0. I'm not sure if that works. Let's try. So, and now let me do that again. As soon as you load, I'm not clicking anything. The first thing is selected. So that's nice. So we have the loaded profile. Here we go. And that's it. Okay, let's close this. So now what we can do is we can go to an event on this. So this is a combo box, and we have event here. And then when the selected index has changed, we can react to that event. That's the default event. Let's go. So here we go. Now we have a callback. And what we do is if the OBS profile selected item is not now, what we will do is we will say OBS scene list view enabled is true. Okay, that's a little bit stupid because we can put that in one line without an if equal this. So let's enable or disable the list view depending on the fact if we have hi. So what am I building? Okay, guys, so there's a question in the chat. Okay, I have a repo here. You can look it up. So let me put in the link again to the repository. It tries to explain what it is. So currently, let me start the app, and the app now is running. So what this is solving, it's for YouTube creators like me. Okay, it's just a tool. Okay, it should be freeware, and I will bring it to public. What this is doing is it's now running, but you can't see anything, and that's good. So if you see my face in the bottom right, right? So guys, my problem is, yeah, it's C#, correct. The problem is with that, I constantly show something, like I move constantly stuff over my face, and now as a creator, I'm not aware that you guys don't see whatever I'm pointing at right now. So my mouse is here, but as soon as I move it to that area, you cannot see what I'm showing, right? So that's a problem. I constantly showed stuff which wasn't visible to you, to my viewers. So I decided to create a tool which solves this, and now watch. Let me clean my screen a little bit. While this program is running, looks like a scene on OBS. Yeah, right. That's what it is. So now my OBS is running, recording and streaming. So now watch what happens, and you need to be quick, because now in the bottom right area, what I see is a circle which is red and which shows me you guys don't see it, but it's right behind my face. So watch what happens if I switch my scene to this one. You saw for a quick second here, I hope you can see that when I switch, you see it disappear here for a second, because it takes some time for it to do that. Okay, you see how it disappears. I hope you can see that. Can you see that? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can see it? So what it actually means, what my program actually achieved, is several things. So first of all, I am yeah, I agree that it's worth solving. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you can see it. Cool, thanks. So what I achieved is, number one, as soon as my app starts, I am connecting to the running OBS. So I can detect, as you see here on this thing, my scene in OBS literally is named that way. So if I switch the scene, watch, like this is here going. So it now has a bottom right scene, and now it sees the bottom left scene. So I'm reacting to it, and I'm just giving out some states here. If you're interested in that, the whole source code is open source on GitHub. You can watch it. And I started the series, it's a whole series of videos, and I started it with a console app, and now I'm just working on putting it in a Windows Forms app. So as you can see here, if I close this window, it still runs. It has a tray icon here, which is ugly, I know. I'm working on that. But now if I right click this, I can reopen my screen. This is what I did. And I can close it. So that way it can run in the background. And I just wanted to showcase here in this thing how easy it is with Windows Forms to achieve something like that, because I loved Windows Forms back then in the time. And I just decided to not go with the most modern UI, right? So I just want to show you guys, yeah, thanks. Thanks for the comment. And I just wanted to show you guys, hey, that's easy to achieve. And I think that this nowadays, it's running on .NET 10 with C#. And I think nowadays this stuff even runs, if I want to, on other operating systems. So I will see if I can make up some stuff which runs on Linux or macOS. I think that's possible. And all of that with Windows Forms, right? So it's pretty hilarious if you ask me. Let me go back to my other scene here, because I think you can see it better now in this case. Okay, I hope this helps a little bit on explaining. I will bring out a video summarizing the whole development when I'm done and when it's released to the public. Okay, cool. So now I have this in place. Let me stop my program, actually. You guys don't see anything, but now my circle disappeared, you know. Now I don't know when I'm hiding stuff from you. Okay, so here it is. By the way, if I do this reformatting, what I'm internally using is ReSharper. It's a pretty expensive tool, so it's not free. I'm using ReSharper to reformat everything. Like what I get here is, if you're interested, I get all my stuff organized in regions automatically. You can see here now I have all my methods and shit. Sorry for that, YouTube. So if I would happen to write a method, private void foo, just explaining so you guys don't get confused. I have a foo method, and if I now hit a key combination, foo is moved. So now I have foo somewhere here in my private void. Here it is. He moved it down, ordered it alphabetically, and so on. So just so that you know, it removes empty lines, which I don't need, and so on. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm doing this also, I'm doing it for myself, these videos, but also to explain you guys what's going on and stuff like that. Just ask. I will happily answer your questions if you have some. Okay, cool. Cool, we're here now. So what we achieved, back to what we have. So now we have this filling. This is real. This is my OBS profile. In case you don't know what it is, profiles in OBS means you can have in OBS different presets. So it brings a whole lot new scenes. The devices are different and so on. And usually you have one single default profile. That's cool. So now what we need to achieve, as soon as we change the value, and I never change the value, okay, because I can't. But as soon as I do, I want to fill in all scene names here. That's what I will do. And I have a bunch of scenes, like I have bottom right, bottom left, top right, and so on. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's go. So I should have everything in place, but it's a little bit stupid right now. So what I'm doing is this variable now needs to be filled in a way so that it's there for other methods. So let's take it out. So private, let's put it as a so-called member variable. So what this is a dictionary of a string and OBS settings. So let's do dictionary, string, and OBS setting, a type that I think scene setting, right? OBS scene setting. So, and then let's call it OBS settings this way, and let's make it nullable because it is now before it's loaded. So here we go. So now what we do is we store here the OBS settings. Oh, stop. So we store that OBS settings, but it's not happy because this is OBS setting maybe now. I get it. And what's the problem here? Can I convert dictionary of string and OBS scene setting to target type OBScene logic models OBS scene setting question mark? Okay, so what the heck is going on? So what is this? This is a dictionary of that and that. What is going on? Settings. That's why. Okay, so I have a collection of settings. Okay, cool. So now I'm doing that. So what this means is this method is storing its result now in a variable, which is now available to other methods in that same class as well. That's what I did. Okay, cool. So now let's give it a summary later, because I don't want to bore you guys. And it returns nothing. It's just a task. So here we have a summary. So in case you didn't know, if I put a summary in here and I hover over, you can see whatever I put as a text is there. So if you're interested in that, I can explain more about this. Anyways, so now as soon as I have my selection change here, so here it is, what I can say is, okay, listen, I want you to, first of all, OBS scene list view items clear. So the first thing is, I want him to remove everything from that list. Clear it up, right? So because I changed this value, just clear the thing. Okay, cool. Now, let's do it simple. For each, so var current settings is OBS settings, and then this is a dictionary. And what I can say is, well, the key to that dictionary is whatever string is selected text, I think. And now let's see, OBS settings could be null. Yeah, we have to check that. So we have to say if OBS settings is null, which technically never can happen, just return it. Let's put a to-do here. So let me see. You are 15 years and want to learn a language. Is the best, which is the best accord? Oh, yeah, okay. So loving thing, I don't think it's about a language. You should decide on what platform you want to learn, framework, whatever. So you should not make it on your language. I think currently I counted lastly how many languages I use in my daily work, because I'm working professionally on the technical stuff. The language is not your issue. You need to decide what is it that you want to go into. Do you want to go system programming? Then you cannot choose for system programming. You cannot choose something like C#, for instance, because you need to go down, a level down. So probably C, Rust, or whatever would be your language. But this is not a language only. This is a platform thing. So you need to understand what this is. Yeah, I get it. You want to be a software engineer. So software is a big issue. So you should, cannot go into the total detail. If you're interested in that, we could make a session just about this stuff, maybe at another point. But software engineer means, are you going to be business developer, web developer, driver developer, depending on. So what I wouldn't suggest right now, if you ask me, going to be a web developer, that's probably not the best time to step into that business, because to be honest, AI is doing a freaking good job there. So what I would do as a decision, if you're interested in that, I probably would go into a very, very specialized niche where it's about human quality in the loop and stuff like that. You could go for game development. You could go for like deep software development, backend development for business and stuff. That's what I probably would do if I'm really interested in that. Besides of that, looking at your age, 15, just go for it. Start doing stuff on GitHub, get feedback from people, solve problems, because it's problem-solving job. I hope this helps a little bit. As I said, I cannot go into any detail, but this should never happen. Yeah. Okay, whatever. So now I have this. I have the current setting. I would start with C, learn the basic from there. You can measure. Yeah, good point, Suncoast. C is pretty deep down. So let me state it this way. It's an interesting discussion going on. C is currently as deep as you can get. Python, also a good idea. We'll meet you after a year. Yeah, you can do that. Python is on my stack as well. But you should listen to what Suncoast has to say, Suncoast software, because actually understanding C is like going back in time, and pretty much every software which came in the last 20 years, programming stack, is based on the fact that C was too complicated for people and too far off. Understanding C, on the other side, means you really understand stuff, right? So you have to take care about memory. You're pretty close to the system. Anyways, let me go on. Yeah, but if you want to go for Python, you're welcome. Let's go. As I said, it doesn't really matter as long as you go deep. So our current setting is this. And then what do we have in the current setting? We have a bunch of scene. Your parents... yeah, I can get that. It's not depending on India. If I have told my parents I'm gonna go game development, they probably would throw me out the house pretty quick. Yeah, get it. So we have scenes for each now. Var scene. By the way, whatever you see here as concepts, what I'm showing you is pretty much the same in every software. It's just language-wise a little bit different. So let me put a little. Can I put a like on that? I like that. No, I can't. Yeah. See you. Love thing. See you. Thanks for joining. Okay. So what we now will do, we will add this thing. So var item equals new list view item. I think. And then we can give it, how was that? Can we give it a string? I forgot. Item text is scene name. Okay, cool. And then the OBScene list view items at the item. We can do that for sure a little bit more. This is just syntax being a little bit. We can do that with link. We could do that with link, but I think it's okay to have it this way. Let's see if we get items. So it should, as soon as we start the thing. Oh yeah. So selected text is nothing. OBS has, what is that? Selected, does it have a selected item and then the text? I'm not sure. Oh, it has a lot of property. Selected item is just the thing. Selected text is nothing. Okay, selected item, got you. Selected item dot to string. Don't like that. Selected item could be null. Is that your issue? OBS settings needs a string. Selected item is not to string, and it should be not null. Let's see. Not the best way to do it, but here it is. We have the scenes populated, so we can select every scene. That's nice. So we have every scene here, and that's cool. So let's go on. So the next thing we want to do in the design is on that thing. Let me stop the program. So this thing has, I think, a property called full row select, something like that. Yeah, full row select goes to true. So what this changes, let me show you, is when I select an item, it is actually selecting everything in every row. I can do that. I can click on that, nothing happens. So that's a scene name. What else do we know about a scene? Let me actually check. So we have the scene name. What else do we know? Scene UUID, settings. Okay, let's do the ID as well. I think, let's say, what do we have? Image index, image key. There was a tag. Yeah, let's put a tag with the ID. Let's, I don't know, do we need that? Let's put a next column here. Edit columns. And let's add a new column, which is the name. No, the text will be scene ID, so that you understand what's going on. So that way we can have a little bit more stuff. And this is probably too small a column size. Scene ID should be whatever, 100. 100, and then let's give it here. I'm not sure what the scene ID is, 200 and 200, both of them. Just want to showcase this. Okay, we have it. And then here is item, sub-items, 0, text. Text is scene ID. Let's see if this works out as expected. So do we have, we don't have a scene ID, which is, oh, what the hell is going on? This is not good. Scene name is now not populated again. Sub-items 1, maybe this is, so it's sub-items 1, I think. No, it's not. Sub-items at. Probably at, and then string. It's a little bit odd because you need to know the, now we have it. So you can see here, this is what it is. And actually, I don't want to see all the scenes here. It's pretty interesting. It's the image capture, monitor, camera. I wanted to see those here. Monitor capture. No. Oh, and actually, I only want scenes which have the scene ID scene. Oh, that's what I want. So let's see. Scenes where scene ID equals scene. I'm explaining that in a second. So let's see if this is going to work. So scene ID is not, let's do the UUID. Let's see what happens. So now yeah, that's better. That's what I expected. So what you see now is I have only the scenes which are actual scenes. So what do I mean? In OBS, the scenes list is not only the list of real scenes which I can switch through, they also contain stuff which is a device. A device also is a scene that you can then later reuse. And now what I'm doing is I'm only using the real scenes here, right? So, okay, so that's what it is. Okay, cool. And now, okay. And now I have this in place. And actually I have the UUID, which is pretty nice. It works. And then I want to call something which is called highlight current scene. So what this will do, this function, is it alt enter create method. So what this will do is for each var item in OBS list view items, if item text, OBS list view item in items. So I'm adding the item. What is an item? Is an object. And items is, so I need it to be a list view item. So item.text equals current, what was it? Current scene. Where's the current scene? Let me see. He's saying OBS switch to scene name, and this is scene logic. And what we are saying is connected, disconnected, scene change. So we could do this here. Let's go. It's a little bit odd. I'm using this. So I've stored it here. What we will do is item color, for color is colors is color dot, what is it, red? Okay, else, very important, item for color is, what is the default color? How can I get the default color of the text? That is window or this for color foreground. I'm not sure if this is a good idea, but we'll see. Okay, let's see what happens if I do this. Is there anything red here? No. So we have bottom right, 1080 bottom right. It should be this one. Is he getting to this line? I have to restart the form. Currently, he's not. Okay, let's see. We also need to have a refresh button. I see. Item text is what? 1080 bottom right, and this is nothing. Okay, so it's not yet there. So that's why I made this. So let me call this method as well. So let's go. If, yeah, this is cool. Let's call this method when the scene is changed. So if I do this, now I have probably a problem. It will crash. Does it? No. Okay, interesting. If I switch scenes now, yeah, now it crashes. Cross-thread operation. So here we go. Let me come back. So this means that whatever this is, what is that? That was, what was my thingy? It's called, I forgot how to call. Task delay, fill up scene. What would I do? Invoke. So let's say invoke, because we don't know from which thread this comes. So invokes this whole thing. I'm probably not doing the best way here, to be really honest with you. But let's see. Let's switch the scene. Oh, now he does it. You see that? It's a little bit late because you see, but now he's saying, well, this one is actually connected, and he even does the color. So now I know which one is selected. That's pretty cool. Nice. Let's go back. And now the only thing is, after I did it, I think there's another way where I am doing connected to OBS. What I don't get is, as soon as I do this, this is a scene change. So do I change this label? Here it is. So maybe I should, whenever the text of this changes, call this. Let's see, is there an event for that? Not sure. Can I go to, what is it? Edit item? No, edit, what is that? Items on the status bar. Let's see, can we do that? Does it have events? This thing has no events. Okay, so then we need to do better. So we should say, write current scene name. Hello, roll with cheese. Readings. So write current scene name this, and where was the other one? Where was the other? And current scene bar label. So that needs to go there. And then this method needs to do the following. As every time that we are going to change the scene name, we are putting in a method, which is invoke, just to be sure that this is on the thread. We do this, and we do this. So invoke, what is going on? Invoke should be cool, and then string. So here we go. And then what we also do is highlight current scene. So let's see if it works now. Also something that we want to do outside of the invoke, because it will re-invoke. So maybe this, let's see, that no arcs. This was scene name. Yeah, sorry for that. Okay, now it's red immediately. Cool. And now if I switch the scene, he is showing me that. It's pretty cool. So let's do more even. So let's be a good designer here. So let's give it a little less space, and let's give it a label here, which is the, I'm not sure. So there you have the right thing. Let's give this label a name, which is, this is OBS scene list summary label. Don't be afraid to call it long names. This is the one thing. So now what we also will do on fill OBS scenes, where is that thing? Oh, let me do this. And then here we say await invoke text equals this scenes detected, loaded from OBS. OBS profile. So that is for sure the profile name. That is fill OBS scenes. We then need to go to the reaction thing. Where is this? On profile here. So that will be. So that is then the. Okay, let's do this. Selected profile var selected profile equals this. And then this is what we put in here. And then this is probably this guy. Oh, let's reformat everything. Let's see if it works as expected. So no, I forgot something because I'm an idiot, as so often. And another one, where is it? Screen resolution is pretty low. So here we go. And we have 19 scenes loaded from OBS profile Coding Freaks. I like it. I like it. Why not? Why not? Good one. So, not sure where this is heading, but we can do a little bit better here. And there you go. That is it. Okay, guys. So, that's pretty cool. So, by the way, you know what I'm asking myself? Can we do a little bit better? Like, can I add? Because a little bit better means this is kind of everything in one file. I don't like it. There is the main form partial class. So what happens, by the way, if I go and create, like this is a designer. Can I copy this and call it like code? He's not putting it inside of it, but let's see. This is partial class main. Let me put this out here because it's already there. And then let's see if I can put my CS stuff here. And I have some cool stuff like exit. This is click. So this function, can I move this function to that code function, which probably would be a little bit better. So yeah, that is it. Is it still working? Just so it's the same class, guys. Okay, so let me show you. This is still, everything is working. So that's a cool idea. So last thing would be, can I tell Visual Studio to put it beneath here? This is mainform.code. He's not having it. Can I move it down there? No, I can't. Can I move it here? No. I would love to have it here. So, but it's okay. I will leave it a second here. So let me put out everything which is a custom method to my mainform.code. So that way I can control a little bit what is actually command code, like reacting to stuff, and what actually is custom code. Let me see. Can I do that? So it looks pretty cool. Let me do that. Main form. Okay, so now in this code here, I will only have stuff which is directly related to it. And I could even take out this one to my code. So everything which is related to stuff. So why does it work? You might ask. You didn't ask, but I still want to answer it. So the key part is partial. So can I show that in LinkPad real quick? Because, you know, we're here to learn, right? So, and it's my channel, so I can make anything. I just lose probably viewers. That's it. So if this is LinkPad, I have a video out of that if you don't know what it is, but it's a cool, if you want to quick solution, you can do stuff like that now with Visual Studio as well, or .NET, but I like LinkPad a lot. That's a really, really cool thing. It costs money, but you should have it as a .NET developer if you ask me. So if I go and have a class, which is named foo, doesn't matter, I can give this class a property, okay? So I can say string ID, whatever. So now in program, I can say var foo is new foo. And I can give it the ID is 1. So here we go. This is now foo. And I can say this works. So nothing is outputted. It's cool. So now what I can do is I can make this a partial class. think it should still work, no problem. But what it means is I can have a second class, partial class foo, and now I can put in methods here. So I have 2 times the class, and now I can say prop string, or let's say override to string. I want to override to string, and I give it more properties. Prop string first name, classic one, last name. It's a person probably. So now what I can say here is return into string, last name followed by first name. So this is the string representation, and now I can say console right line foo, which will lead to nothing. Good to string. So I don't have last and first name. That's cool. Last name is freaks, and first name is coding. Makes no sense, but anyways, and now I get freaks colon coding, right? So what it proves to you, so this is just overriding to string, which is the .NET implementation, but now I have 2 structs, which are on compile time. The compiler will detect the 2 partial classes having the same name, and what it will do, it will merge it together to 1 class, as if you would have it in 1 file. That's what it basically does. Okay, so in very simple terms, what it allows us to do, however, is to increase the maintainability of our source code. Because what I like to do, first of all, first principle is 1 class per file. So in other words, never have 2 classes in the same file, because it's really bad. But now if you have 1 class in multiple files, this helps you, especially when it comes to UI development. And I even could add something else here. I could copy this and say this is the events or thingy, because all of those things are events. When the load, when the close, and everything happens, when I click on buttons, I can take all of this out to my events thingy. That was a bad idea. What did I do? Oh, I main form. I think I fucked up. Wait a second. This is main form. I copied the wrong thing. That's why. I need to copy this. Let me undo this. Let's copy this file, and this is now events, main form events, CS. So now I can grab out this one again, I think, but he's not happy. Partial class, main form. What is happening even? Why is he doing this? So is he fine now? Yeah, he is. So can I have, oh, he's getting this. Okay, so let me add an empty new class. He's not happy with copying. And I just call it main form events. So I have a .cs. Yes, this is public partial class main form. Should be good. That's interesting. I don't know why he does this one. Partial class main form. Yeah. And he doesn't have it here. That's interesting. Yeah, that's more like it. Anyways, main form here. Let me put out all event handlers. Like again, from here to there. And go here. So what now? Is it working? Oh, no. Is my program still working? That's oh no, it's not. Form closing call. This is partial class main form. Okay. And this is partial class without public. Is that working? Oh, he's not happy at all. I think I fucked it up. It's an interesting one. I probably will lose you guys on that, but I want to solve this. Why is it so different? He did it here. So he's displaying it differently. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. So it's a class which is that, and this is a class which doesn't look like that. I still can double click it. View code. It's partial class main form in the namespace. It's partial class main form in the namespace, but he's not happy. Okay, cool. So let's undo that for a second. Let's see. Let me grab it out again. Put it back to the main form CS so that everything works again. And let's get rid of this for a second. I'm not sure why this happens currently, but it should work again or not. Oh, he's not happy here because now the designer says, I don't know. This is also the partial class where this is, but it is here. And they are not connected anymore. So it worked in between, but now I abstracted this. Okay, so this guy now says, I don't know what this is there. Let me rebuild this. And I think he might be kind of broken. Yeah, it is. From all platforms. He's saying this call site is reachable on all platforms. It's only supported on Windows. Oh, that's the issue? Wait a second. We have .NET Windows here, so it might help in situations like that, which is unlogical, to restart Visual Studio, to be honest. Sometimes Visual Studio does not like us. So let's see. Let's have a coffee and see what actually is going on. Is it still running for some reason? Do it again. Okay, let's maybe what is it? It's not do it. What's open here? No. Okay, so what do? I need to tell it to clean this. Can I clean the solution? Is that working? Can I rebuild? He's saying object, the object folder. Can I rf source, which is rmrf for me, UI bin forms, forms app, and then object. I did this. He's not happy. So, okay, can I .NET build this? That's pretty interesting. .NET build, no. This is source, UI forms app. .NET 10 Windows. The output name is same. Two output file names resolve to the same output path. UI forms main resources. That's why. You see? He's not having it. So maybe it doesn't work. That's it. Maybe I was too confident because it was working one time, the partial class. And this one is now an issue here because it both has the resx file, and now on compile time, both of those are going to the same one. Let me try actually something else. Let me get the code out here. Let me secure the code. This is what I need, probably including this. Let me put it out to Sublime Text. Let's close this and that. Just debugging. This would be our code. Let me get rid of this. And let me actually bring in a new class. which is called mainform.code.cs. Here we go. And now my question is, can I please do this? And is it building? I have, and he's again doing this to me. See that? I mean, it works. It's pretty interesting. It works again. And I have a second file, but as soon as I do a third file, it breaks. Okay, let's try to keep this in place. I like that. Let's clean it up. And let's now finally say, okay, what do we have? We pretty much just say we can select OBS data in the winner. Not sure. Commit and push. That way you guys can take it down. Let me do my .NET build. Just ensure that it really works. Okay. .NET build the whole thing. What is that? This is called OBScene SLNX. Yeah, it builds. Okay, cool. So that is number one. So now let's go to the designer of the main form and let's see what else can we do. So now, I think this is not a good idea. It should be have a label like dot so that we can see it. No, that was not. So that is dot. And then let's give this the key OBS info. And it looks strange, I know. OBS info, cool. So the next combo box, however, a group box, which is like this thing is a group box, right? So the next group box could be, what could it be? Where is containers? Group box, here we go. And the next one could be, let's do it this way, whole screen, anchor it again, same procedure, anchor it on all sides, because now what this means is this will take up the remaining space. And that is now geometries, or let's say masks, whatever. So the masks or whatever I'm displaying on my screen, right? So maybe I can get rid of this and I have to go to that side. I'm seeing that right now. Okay, cool. So this is OBS info. And that is the info about what I'm currently showing on my screen. So what I want is, what do I have? I have in my code, I think it's in this guy here, view code. View code. So I have my OBS scene settings and my settings. And in my settings, I have the same thing. And I can show whatever is matching here. Okay, cool. So the first thing is I can do another, this one. And this will be also a scene name. Let's see. Can I, for some, okay, this is now my, this is my scene list view. That's the scene list view, and it has the scene name, which is the same, but this should contain only the, let me make some room here. This should contain only the scenes that are defined in my settings. Let me show. This is my config.json, right? And now I have every scene here. This is a matchup. You see, those scenes exist in OBS, and I just want this to be showing those 4 scene names in that thing. So I'm not sure if I need a list view for that, because what we could do actually, we could go ahead and do a list on that. So let me see. This is a list box, not a list view. It's just simpler. It doesn't have columns. So that is my, what is that? That is config scene list. There we go. So the config scene list, that's the name of the thing. It probably should be anchored as well. Top left, bottom. So what this gives me, hopefully, is that it is taking up the vertical space, right? So here we go. So now on loading, what we also should do. So on loading, we're getting, this is OBS settings. And when the form loads, where is my code? When the form loads, what we do here is we get the settings here. So then we add this stuff, the Q watcher and everything. That is the OBScene. So what is going on? This is, let's actually put that in methods. So that is, and we can, I think we can we extract method? And let's call this load config async. Okay. Next. So await load config async. And that should be, all of that should be extract method init OBS async. So that way we have methods that we now can put over to our code. With that one, view the code. Let's put it here. Okay, and now we are, we are loading the config, and the whole thing is in a method, right? So that way we bring some order in this. Is it still working? No, it's not. 2 output files. There we go again. So we probably need to get rid of, he's not having it. Okay, I get it. So not a good idea. So we need to get rid of all of this. This needs to, all right. Let's put it back to my original. Sadly, it's not working. I'm sorry, guys, but I have to go back to the old, do it here. Put it together. So what's going on here? Settings is not there. Where's settings? Probably it's doubled now. Yeah. He's not having it. So I need to get rid of this again. And then it's somewhere blew up. Where is settings? And then settings might be null here. New scene logic settings. Yeah, he does not know that. Yeah, because if settings is null, that's the change, just return. So that he is good. And the same probably here. And region, this is kind of, can you do that for me? Yeah. So it needs to be in one file. I hate this a lot. And I can do it differently with another class, which is not named the same way. Maybe I do that off screen. Anyways, fixed build issues due to partial classes. So partial classes was a good idea, but actually it doesn't work with Windows Forms. Great stuff, Alex. I know. Anyways, so what we now have on the load thingy, and this is why I don't like it, right? So now I have to go load config. That is it. And now what I can do here is I can say fill config scenes. So what I will do is this method now is if settings is now return. It should never happen. We don't need to throw an exception or anything like that. It's just there. So remember, we want to fill in this here now, the config scene list. And it should be the following. Config scene list items is settings, scenes, keys, scene select, from every scene the key. So items add range. You cannot bind it. Okay, so WinForms has no binding. Items clear, because we can call it several times, and we need to be sure to do that on the main thread in case we call that from another thread, which easily can happen. Okay. Here we go. That should do the job, and we now should have a scene list. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, and he's again taking this. We know that error. I'm a little bit as key. How do I do that? I selected this to string. Sure. Was it that thing? I'm not sure. No, it's an enumerable. That was not going to be add range. So that is the add range. So we had fill OBS scenes async. So what do? Select key, cast to object. We selected the key, which is the same, and then an array. Okay. Fill config scenes. I don't get it. Keys, var keys is this one. So can we look up what this is now? I'm a little bit confused why he's so bad with link. This is an enumerable. Okay, he's right. This is the results view. This is what I need. But how do I get to the key itself? So what is that? Is that key to string? That is an enumerable of strings. To array. So cast object again. Oh, this is far too. I'm not sure. Is that again what it needs? Yeah, this is so strange. Okay, so now I have this. Okay. Okay. So here's bottom right. So I can do this. And he's having all the keys from my config. That is great. So now, as soon as I have this in place, I want, let me do it this way, and we talk about sizing in another session probably. Now I have some settings here. So what I now have is the geometries. So what do I do? Do I do a second list box with the geometries? Or do I do a tree view? Let's do the second. This is now when I select something here, I want all the geometries here. So let me see. And this would be config geometries list. So here we go. As soon as I select one here, so event, selected index, selected value changed. Okay, let's go. So what I want to do is var config scene is settings, scenes, config scene list selected text, selected value. Where is it? Value. Selected value to string. So a lot of stuff is going on because we have nullables. I don't like that. If settings is null, again, return null, and return. And then if, so let's take this out. Var current scene config is this one. So selected value is that toString. If current config is null, return, and here just be a little bit that is current config key is that. We need to be very, very careful. If current config key, if current config, if settings scenes contains key current config key, if this is not the case, and we can say string empty, then return. Okay, otherwise we can have current config key, but exclamation mark. So that is it. And then we can say this is current config, and this is the current scene. Current config scene. Okay, so we have it. And the current config scene has geometries. So what we do is, in any case, geometries list clear, items clear, and then for each var config scene, for each geometry, in current config scene geometries. Okay, and then we say config geometries list add items, just add, and then we say geometry. So what do we have? We have a fill color, geometry type. Okay, so geometry type, let's do this. And it's probably an enum. So let's see. We have everything. So click, 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 nothing. So let's go. Click, he's coming. Current config key is null. Okay, that thing has, what is that? Selected item. Selected item. I know why the value is empty, but let's see. We have ellipses, we have rectangles. So there you go. So here we have it. Okay, so we are down to the point where we can actually do one thing, which is now pretty easy to wrap this up for today. So it turns out there's another cool control that we can use here, which is a property grid. Yep, property grid. Let's go. And let's give it all the remaining space. Let's see. Let's anchor this guy. Now, this can be a little bit less. Let's anchor this guy on the remaining space. This was anchored top. Yeah. So what this means is, if I resize the thing, the property grid will get the remaining space. You see that? So what's a property grid now? So a property grid is, that is geometry properties. There we go. And what a property grid is, as soon as we have selected, what was the event here? Selected value changed. If we go to the same thing here, selected value changed, what we can do is the geometry properties object, selected object is whatever is the selected, that is the selected, what was it? Selected item? Yeah. And then what we need to do is here. And then what we need to do is the same. And this tells us already we need to do stuff. And then the current config scene is this. And then, oh, we probably should do better. Wait a second. We can say items at. This is the item. Geometry type. And we have no geometry ID. We have an ID here? No. So that tells us it's pretty hard to know. Let me see. This is a geometry, and I want to put this geometry as a tag on the item. So let me see. List items at. And this tells us, I think I can say geometries. Yeah, let's do the following. Var converted is select the geometry, and let's make a new object, which is saying the label is currently geometry, the geometry type, and the instance is the G. So now what we do in converted, no, we just say in converted. So, and now that looks awful, but what we can say is var selected object, selected value. Now we can do that. Selected value. In order for this to work, we need to go here, and this is why selected value didn't work. So that is, I think, display member. Yeah, display member would be the property name that I gave it label. So let's put it in display member is label. So I will explain that in a second. Label. And the value member is instance. See if this works. Let's see. Click, no. Damn it. He's not having the value member. So let me see. What am I putting in? Converted is click, and converted has, oh, geometry, because I'm an idiot. I added this, the wrong thing. Should work now. Click. Oh, no. What is the selected value? It's now event arcs. No, we need to be here. Something is odd. Let's click geometry. It has instance and label. So ellipse is the label. So it should have a selected, where is it? Selected. Interesting. Selected value is null. Selected items is 0. Selected indices. Am I on the wrong list? Config geometries list has items, right? So first, what is the display member? Did I do it correct? Display member is label. So whatever property is this, it should be the display, and it worked. The value member, however, is instance. Got you. So now my problem is, what is the selected value of the thing? Nothing. So he's too early. Okay. Let's click on it. Boom. So geometries list, the selected item is ellipse. That is cool. But where is the selected value. Where is it? Value member is this, and the selected value is null. So my question would be, selected item has label and instance. Here it is. I want to have this thing. And the selected value is null. 1. Selected index is 0. That's okay. Selected item is correct. So the selected item. Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting. So what obviously worked is that it showed up here. You see, it takes rectangle out of it, but the value is null. So the text is, var text is config geometries list selected item. So let's see. Selected item should be cool. Click, click. Okay, that's the item itself. But it does not know whether it's just an object for him. And I don't want to use reflection here. So I'm doing the following trick. I'm adding a model, add folder models, and I'm adding a class which is called geometry list item. So what this is internal, it will get prop string label and prop geometry. What is that? Data, information, data, whatever. This is, never mind. Just ignore that. It will not be null. So let's say this is now new geometry list item. Here we go. Label is geometry type toString, and that instance is, what was the other one? Data is G, and G is iGeometry. Okay, I got you. So it needs to be an iGeometry. Here we go. Okay, now it should be good. iGeometry. And then we say selected item was, so my question would be, just do it. Selected item as, what is that? Geometry list item. And then, can we not just put it in here? And let's see what happens. Click, click. Yep. We have data and label. I don't like that. So what we need is not this. We need data and label dot data. This guy. Okay, let's see if this works. Oh man, guys, this is so, yeah, better. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? And now we have a pretty simple editor here because we can change values. I'm not sure what happens if I change the value. If I change the value, let's say the position, the X position and the Y position. This is now bottom right. So bottom right is the current selected one. The Y position changed to 300 does not do anything. I mean, it changes it, but I'm not redrawing anything. So the question is he keeping the value of 300? Click, click, ellipse. He's not, right? Wait a second. Click, click, ellipse. Let me go out. Let me do it again. Okay, one more time. Bottom right, ellipse. I want it to be 300. Okay, so now I'm going out. Oh, and when I select this, I need to put them out of business. Okay, here, that 300. He stores it. So in other words, all that I need to do is, if I switch the scene now, yeah, he changed the position to 300. Guys, it's working. The only thing is some minor quirks here. So let's do that. So the minor quirks are, as soon as now this thing, does it have something like changed? Enable changed, property value changed. Whenever any property value on that thing is changed, we need to redraw the scene. So what do we do about redrawing the scene? So that would be the same as if, config geometry, config scene list. Where is my, now I get exactly what I hate. Fill OBS scenes, connect OBS. I think that's what it was. Connect OBS, init OBS, init OBS async. So when I have a scene switch, I enqueue the scene name. And when I enqueue the scene name, what actually happens is he gets it, write status label, where is he drawing the scene? He gets this, try dequeue, setting contain scene, logic clear. Is that what it is? Scene logic clear? Logic draw, scene name. That is what I need to do. What happens if I draw? So he has no logic. That is why, where's the logic from? Aha, logic is scene logic. So what we need to do is we need to keep the scene logic private, scene logic, scene logic, scene logic. So that would be this. Scene logic equals this. Scene logic clear, scene logic draw. That is it. But now we have scene logic draw. And then the OBS, no, the current scene bar label name. Not sure if this is a thing. Text. But now what? The scene? The scene name. Why is he not happy? Possible now reference. Okay. I got you. If this is string on our empty, just return. I am not sure. What's going on? I mostly built in VPF. Yeah, WPF. I have some. Thanks for the comment. I have some stuff, some video series. It's old video stuff on WPF and doing MVVM, and it's all old. It's using Galasoft and stuff. I used MVVM, and a lot of stuff is simpler with WPF, Suncoast software. Especially what I like is binding and having view models, especially what I wanted to do with this partial classes just some seconds ago would be easier there, but it comes with a price. I'm just going to look up here if this works. So let me change the value. Oh, it works. But we need to call clear because I have now a different thing as well. Okay, cool. So wait a second, just let me finish and then I send it to you. So that is scene logic clear. Okay, let's redraw this so that you guys can see what's going on. Bottom right, this is my current selected scene, right? Bottom right. So I'm going and I'm taking 300 as the position. He is not redrawing it really. He is, let me 200. And he's out of business. Oh man. Output. That's interesting. He is kind of not doing it correctly. So let's try again. I have something wild going on. So ellipse again. What was it? 300. He did it. 301. That's it. He's out of business. He immediately crashes. That's interesting. Huh. It crashes. So where did it crash? On the second or on the first? So let's go. 300. He does it. 310. He is not uncomplete. Let's go here. Oh, he already clears. So first of all, we don't need to clear twice. So he does that. Oh. I think he needs to clear. Let me see. Guys, I'm very sorry. But it's pretty complicated, right? So he cleared, but the thing is still there. That's interesting. So being this, I don't need it to do this. Okay, let's do just drawing. Can I do 2 drawings in the same time? 300, you see it. 301, you see it. Okay, so calling clear several times was the issue. Cool. So, but now the problem is, you see it getting darker and darker, because if I do it to 100, you see he's just overdrawing. He's not removing the old ones. And I'm not sure why that is. Okay, so something is odd with my geometries. So if I call him draw, so what is he actually doing? Current scene is that in geometries, but what he really needs to do is he needs to get rid of all the geometries first. Geo-dispose, correct. He needs to clear that. He needs to dispose the geometries. But now, when I dispose the actual geometry, which is on the scene, oh, I can see that coming. What is that? Current scene geometries clear. And now what happens is he clears the whole scene. But I need a redesign. The problem is the following. I mean, it works kind of, but not really. So this thing, this item, which I'm currently selected, is the geometry, which actually is drawn. It's the same instance, the drawing on that thing. So let me put in a new position. So he drew that geometry. Okay, cool. But now my problem is I need to separate everything. It works, kind of. I have a working design. It's cool for today. Okay, so it's a cool iteration. We can totally do that. So now if I switch scenes, it should, it should do it kind of. You see, this is still there, right? Oh, my hair. Oh, sorry. It's still here. So it's kind of buggy, but we have an editor. That's what I wanted to show. So let me fix the issue that we have here. If we go back and forth, this is not switched. It's really quick to do. Let me do that real quick. So the one thing we need to add is, as soon as I select something different here, he needs to get rid of this and that. He needs to clear this. So config scene list is, as soon as config scene list selected value change, he needs to, first of all, whenever he does that, he needs to clear the geometries. That's what it is. And before of that, he needs to tell the geometries object to be null. Just to be sure. So let's do this. Okay. So now what should happen is click, click, okay. Click, refilling it, making it null. You know what I mean? This is what I need it to be. Click, click, not selected, click. So that's what you do. Okay, so that is cool. We can do stuff like splitter here. We could make a tree view out of it, whatever. But in principle, this works. I'm not storing back, so every time I restart it there. But I think this is a pretty nice version of it. So I can change the values from scenes. This is still buggy because it is not... I have to change the whole design of that to have my settings separated from the actual geometries which are drawn. This was a stupid mistake. It made it easier, but now I understand that as soon as I am, let me actually put the new one. So now I'm explaining this. This is bottom right. And I'm currently on bottom left, right? So let me switch to bottom right. So now we did it correctly, but as soon as I put it to 400, and he's not deleting this one, you see that? This one is not deleted, and he's happily drawing, and he cannot dispose the objects because simply this object, this thing, is the instance that he drew here. So what's now happening is the drawing on the screen itself is not the issue. The problem is this thing is not disposed. So that means it holds all the drawings it had because I'm binding it to the list. So what I need to do, and that is a lot of stuff, right? What I need to do is those geometries which are on the scene should not be the geometries that he's drawing. It should be the geometry settings. So the current scene should have another thing, which is geometry settings. It should be a new type so that I can distinguish between what actually is loaded. Yeah, hello, sir, as well. What actually is loaded and what is the drawing. This should be not the same. This was just easy peasy for me when I did it. So, but for current, what this means is changing, so the geometry editor works kind of, right? Kind of. Commit and push. It's a nice stand. This is okay for today. So we probably are going to leave it that way today. So a lot of stuff went on and it's far from being ready, right? I want to have like a save button here to save this configuration, to keep it there. It's ugly as hell, I know. So we have some stuff like split containers. So let me show you that so that you at least take away some nice stuff on Windows Forms here. And I'm thinking about maybe making a Windows Forms tutorial session. Like, could be interesting for people who never touched it, because it's kind of, it has this bad reputation of being old. And as Sunco Software said, it's kind of interesting even for people who are doing WPF, because for a small project like mine, it doesn't matter to make the whole NVMe thing, if you know what that is, model view, view model. Sometimes it's just one dialog. That's what it is, right? So, and that's why I decided to do WinForms again, because I used to love it. So let me add just a little new form to show you what I'm here. So let's do a form, which is the sample form. So let's do this. And now what you can do, let's see if I remember that correct. There is something called a split container. So here we go. A split container is actually this. And what you now can do, you have a splitter here. And now we could add some, let's add a tree view. Let's do Windows Explorer for poor people. And now we can dock this sucker. we can dock it, like fill it, and it takes in the whole space. And then let's do a list view. Let's put it in here and let's dock this as well. So now the list view can be, this was display style, view style. Yeah, it is, view is details. And then let's give it some columns. And let's add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. So now we have this, and then let's simply go to our program and say, you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna start with the sample form. So that way we can start it easy. Okay, so here it is. And now you have this behavior, right? So everything is there. Just, you don't have to be concerned about how do I do this. And I'm pretty confident that if you go to the sample form, let me go there. I'm not sure how I can. Let's undo the dock of this thing. The dock, let's do it none. So that way we can put it out. So let's say now, we put another split view in. Should work. Split container. Let's do it here. But this time split. Where is it? This is vertical, I would say. Is there something that's called vertical? And where is the split direction or something? Direction? What? How was it named? I think I can make it. Can I make it vertical? Horizontal or whatever. So let me see the properties. This is the split container. What could it be? Let's just discover. Right to left? No, this is not what it is. IME mode? No. That is, that's the panel. No. I want the split container, split container 2 here. That is what I need. And then orientation. Here it is. Horizontal. So here we go. And now what we could do is we move it here in that. I think it's working. Can I dock it now? Is that understanding that it is? Yeah. So now we have this, and then we could put something else here. And now we have split container in split container, and it's pretty freaking easy, right? So I don't know. I like it. So you have a full-blown, like it's docking everything, and you know that makes no sense. That way we have usually like min size, but you can make decent forms. And the one thing I'm pretty interested in, let's Google this, win forms, style, like this is, what is that? Glass effect? I'm not sure. Borderless. What is that? I think we can do stuff here. Oh no, that's probably win forms. What is that? Theme. Looks so good. So what is it? When starting from scratch, use some kind of framework. Yeah, I don't know. No. Let's actually go. What's new? Well, why not? .NET 10. This is announcing .NET 10. Thank you. Async forms, custom design. Several UI types have been ported from .NET, including Toolstrip collection editor. Okay, cool. Dark mode. Oh, Windows Forms. So application set color mode. Oh, I can. Let's see. I like that. Oh, that would be great. Look, guys, let's do dark mode. Application set color mode. Yeah. Dark. Let's go. Let's have a dark mode. Yeah. Dark mode is so freaking easy. How does our thing look in dark mode? And can I do it with a switch? Oh, this is great. Guys, that is, let's see what happens now. Oh, this looks not bad. I mean, depending on what you consider to be bad or not bad, but this actually works. So as you can see, we could have, we could have a splitter here now with the knowledge we now have. We could have a splitter here, right? So in order to be able to move it a little bit, and maybe a second one here, splitter and splitter and splitter. So we can talk about this later, but I'm not sure about the design yet. Probably splitter here would be a good idea in the first place. But anyways, so now I'm hyped because I'm thinking about, is there a quick way to have it go to dark mode? A bottom here? Yeah, let's do that. Maybe it's a quick thing. And can I set it later? We'll see. Okay, let's go. Main form. And this guy here, the status bar, can have items. Let's see, can I have a bottom item? There is a drop-down bottom. I think that's a good idea. Add this guy. This is the color mode bottom. That is nothing. This is probably dark. How does it look? Nothing. Okay. And then drop down items. I will give him a collection. Tool strip, drop down. Wait, no. Drop down items. What do you mean? Drop down tray context. Oh, he needs a context menu for that. Tool strip, drop down menu. I'm not sure what this even means. This is the color mode selector. Huh. Okay. Please. Do I need another context menu? Let's do another context menu. Can I do that? Is it crashing? It is. Is it? So let's do a context menu. I think it needs a context menu. Context menu strip, which is the color mode context menu. Color mode context menu. Let's give it edit items. Let's say it gets, this is the context menu itself. Let's give it a menu item and give it a text, which is, where's the text? That is just the thing. This is the color menu, color mode context menu. This is how I do it. Add, and I give it the text of dark. Sometimes I'm a little bit confused. Where's text here? So let's do dark and let's do light. Just for the sake of having fun. So that is the name of the thing. Where's the name? Tool strip. This is color mode dark item and color mode light item. Light item. So, okay, cool. So now in the status bar, edit items, the button gets as the drop-down item. Drop-down is context, that is stupid. Tray color mode item. Drop-down items is this, correct. So let's see what happens first. Is that showing anything? Yeah, we have light and dark here on that button. Okay, cool. So now let's actually try this out. If we have, stop it. If we now have the designer, can we go to the status bar, the items, or does it have item click? Item click, change. Let me see. How can I do that? Does it have, this one has, I think, no events, right? No. But it has a name. The name of this thing is color mode selector. So let me go to my designer. Let's go pretty deep. Color mode selector is the button. Okay. Okay. And then here it is. Does this thing have events? Color mode selector dot on. Oh, events are down there. Ah. Selected change plus equals color mode selector selected changed, which is not existing right now. He's not happy. I get it. So let's go here. Yeah, I know. Where's my code from my phone? Come on, give me my code, view code. So I can do private void, this one, object sender event args e, I think that's what it is. Is this thing now happy? This thing is happy. So we should arrive here if we change it. Okay, let's try this. Hacking our way through. Oh, yeah, we got something. Selected changed. Interesting. Oh, that is not what I wanted. As soon as I selected changed. What else? What is another event? Value changed? Oh, wait a minute. Visible changed. Is that even the right thing? I think it's not the right thing. The context menu. First of all, we should get rid of the other context menu. He just put in the context menu. Oh, that's bad. So first of all, tool strip menu. What is that? Tool strip. Oh man. Tool strip menu here. Separator. And what we got is it's we got tray context menu, and we copied this. This is tray context menu. This is here. And then we have tray context menu, and there was another context menu. Where is it? Tray context menu, and this is, can you look up here for this word tray? There it is. New context menu strip, and we have this sucker here. We need to get rid of this, and this is somewhere here. This is stupid. Okay, cool. We have this. So now we have suspend layout. Yeah, I know. And then what else? We don't need this one. He was adding this stupidity because I copied this. Resume layout. That's it. So, okay. So now what I want to do is that, where was my other context menu? Color mode context menu. Color mode context menu. Okay, go ahead. Where is it? Here. No, go ahead. Here. Color mode context menu dot is that the thing? Is that the context menu click? Where was my, yeah, I know, sorry. Where was this context menu? Main form, come on. We have the tray context menu, and this was, where did we, wait a minute. This is the same. Where's my click event? Tray, like open. the open click, the menu open click. This was open OBScene context command. That was it. So we have a context command. Yeah. So no. Where's the command? What about dark here? Color mode is a tool strip menu item. Yeah. And what else do we have? Color mode dark item. Dark. Color mode dark item dot click is plus equals color mode item click. Let's see. Come. This one. That is on my CS. Where was my code? I had an empty one. I was going to. I'm sorry, but I'm actually not. I just want this to happen. Exit config scene, geometry scene, color mode. So that is what I want. Am I arriving here? So for that, I need to ensure that color mode light item also has the same click event. So let's see if this works. So whenever I click on one of the two items, dark, I'm arriving here. That's great. And light, I'm arriving here as well. So now I can show you. Var text is standard as, what was it? This one is a tool strip menu item. Yep. Standard as tool strip menu item. Dot name. Would be now. Okay, so if string is null or empty text, this is stupid. Now we go pro new invalid operation exception. Invalid operation exception. Unknown standard, whatever. So now this means if text contains dark and string comparison invariant ignore case. So that means application, and I'm not sure if I can do that. Let's set color mode dark. Else. Now it gets interesting. Classic. Okay. Is it working? Kind of. It's working on it. Man, it's not that easy. Screw that. Okay, if I go down and reopen it, oh, it needs a refresh. That is interesting. And if I go to dark mode, and you see that it's not really good. I need to refresh my form. Okay. Okay, cool. If I now go to application, set style, create params, custom control. Yeah, that's what it is. So if I go in WinForms to application color mode dark, let's stop this. Application set color mode, WinForms, update, set color mode. So set the default color mode dark mode for the application. Remarks. You should use this method to set the default color mode for the application. Set it before creating any UI to ensure that the correct color mode is used. You can also set it, if you set system, note that the dark color is only available on Windows 11. Note for Visual Basic applies to, okay. But now, if I happen to have it, you know what I'm going to do, right? So application set color mode needs to revive what? Needs to revive WinForms? In this area of full stack, when is it? 10 months ago? Well, some may say it was never a complete desktop. Yeah, it wasn't. Far the easiest, more streamlined way. Yep, I agree. Okay, that was not the case. Maybe here. So what do they do? Clear cache, brush, and pens. Thread data, system pens. What is going on? Calling this? What the heck? WinForm? Okay. Set the Windows color mode to light. Start the program. Open form, close form. Switch the color mode to dark. Open form. Application set color mode. Thanks for your response. Application set color mode. Yes. Okay, but can I refresh it? Task delay. Continue with. Okay. What is going on? Is that a screen recording? Sure. Show me what you got. What are you doing? What is happening? Are you showing me that this works? So the system one works. Okay. That would be interesting to find out, if you agree. I mean, you know, this is now a little bit odd. And I probably should. Okay. Note. This is very buggy and will not work completely if used during runtime. Yeah. We need to figure out how to force a redraw. Maybe that is what I just said. This refresh. What happens now? Can I force a refresh? I don't think so. It's that easy. So dark mode, light mode. Not bad. Not bad. What happens if I refresh the control? Wait a minute. Did I find? So if I say list view, where is my list view? This is, go away. Where was my list view? This is my, stop it. This is, what is that? No, stop it again. This is my obscene list view. If I call refresh on this thing, is that helping? Okay, click, light. No, it's not. So refresh probably goes through the whole tree and tries to refresh. Dark mode, yeah, he knows the dark mode, so it's matching, but light mode is not working. If I close the form and reopen the form, kind of, but list view is not. List view is not getting it. So list view is the only control. But what I could do is I could simply close the thing, and then I could open it again. So I have this, and then open. What was that? Sender event arcs. E, whatever. So, I mean, this is rough. Okay, this is rough. Let's do that. What happens if I switch this? Is he? Not really. He's exiting. Oh, yeah. That is, again, I would need to send the message. Okay. Because I'm closing the thing. Can I? Yeah. So what I really need to do is I need to change this. Then I need to close this and reopen this. So what it means, what I'm doing on, so that is that and that. Okay. False. And then normal. That is what I'm doing. Refresh. Okay. Let's see. Stop it and restart this. Let's change the color mode. Is he reopening it when I change it? Well, yeah, kind of. So list view is not having it. List view isn't having it. All the other controls are doing it. List, not list view. List view is having it. This seems to be, it might be actually that the list control is a little bit too old for that. So that's not an issue. We can switch to list view on that, or we were even thinking about going to tree view. We will see that. This is very buggy. No, it isn't. So what it really means is we need to sync this with whatever is currently clicked, selected. Yeah. And for that, we can say, can we say that text, no, sender as toolstrip item. This is toolstrip, this. And then we can say if toolstrip is null. If toolstrip is null, then that. Otherwise, we just have this toolstrip name, and toolstrip is not null anymore, and name should not be null. So, and then what we can say, toolstrip is checked. No, do we have it? Checked is true. Huh. Is there a way to check a toolstrip? Right? And now it's checked, but you know, we don't have the other one checked. Okay. So for that, okay. For each toolstrip menu item in, what was the name of the thingy here? Well, pretty soon. Code context menu. Color code, no. Color code context menu. In color code, color mode, context menu, items. Huh. Toolstrip, no. Toolstrip menu item. Item checked is false, and item checked is true. So now the sync should work. So if I go to that mode, it worked. If I go to dark mode, it worked. So in other words, if I am going to say that this is going to be a method, extract method, check color mode, check active color mode, tool strip item. That is it. So, and then we say in the designer, oh, where is that here? Let's go to that thing. It's been a long video. What is it now? 2.5 hours. I do not really care because I have fun. And I think it's okay to have fun. So let's go. This one, items. Let's go. Every item can have a tag, which is this is dark, this is light. That's what I'm doing. Or classic. Okay. So let me find out what this really is. Active scene. System color mode classic. What is that? This is classic. System in dark, in uppercase. Okay, so what I will do, application color mode. Wrong. Current color mode is application color mode. To string. To lower and vary. Item checked is item tag to string equals current color mode string comparison ignore case, and then it's going to be by default false. So if I do this and I call this on load, where's load? Form loaded, main form load. So sender and E. What do you mean? We don't need this. Yep. Okay. We don't need anything. Just do it. So now, 2 things. First of all, when I start, the right one should be checked. Light, and it's not checked. So light is probably because I've screwed it up and I called it light, but it needs to be classic. Okay, close this, reopen this. The designer is a little bit not having it when I do too much. So that is classic and that is dark. Whereas this one was, what was it? Man, this is the bad thing about it. System color mode. There is dark. It knows dark. So maybe I should call it dark. And not this one. Dark is dark. Classic is classic. I don't get it. I mean, classic. Okay. And then what we need to do is, let's debug this. Check active. Oh, because I did it too early. That's the whole thing. It worked already. It was just too early. I lost almost my whole stream. I don't care. I have fun. I'm not, like that. So mostly everything works. The only thing is we have a strange icon. I get it. But you know, that's how you do that. And then this is getting out of hand here. Light mode, dark mode, and now we need... Why is he not making it, closing it anymore? Is he? Maybe we should give him time. Here you go. So if I close this and give it a little bit more time, I think it's better. What about task delay, time span from seconds 1, a lot of time. Wait. What about this one? Do you like that? Probably not. Okay. Color mode light. That's back again. Color mode dark. It's not having it. Interesting. So if I close this and reopen this, it's better. Okay, so the time span is not giving it anything. Refresh. Okay, so we need to find out if there's a way to do that. This is not working reliable, sadly. Okay, so this is put the form in invisible mode and bring it up again to try to refresh the colors. And that's not working. And we can... That is what it is. And I think it's okay. We have a lot of things to do, but we can... let's remove the demo here. We don't need that anymore. And in the program, we don't need the demo anymore. Cool. We are running in dark mode and can switch that. For sure. I like that. High DPI, what was this? The templates that generate a new Windows Phone. This method contains code that configures. Okay, new application bootstrap. So in .NET 6, these templates have been modified to use the new bootstrap code. Invoked application configuration initialized. Here. So this method automatically generates a compile time and contains the code to configure Windows Forms. Interesting. Then a project file can control these settings now too. Okay, enable visual styles. Static void initialized. Here we go. But this is not the one. Publics. What is he doing? Enable visual styles. He does it. Set compatible text rendering default false and system aware high dB. It's good defaults. And what else can we do on this? This application thing seems pretty interesting. Application dot. And it's obviously, it should be done in initialized, right? But this doesn't look like, so if I do this, I mean, application configuration initialize. Let's do that. So application, what else? Common app data path, allow quit. I can disallow quitting? Interesting. Company name, for sure. This is codingfreaks. I'm not sure. Equals. But I shouldn't do that, right? So I can't. So probably this is coming from the assembly info. Properties. We never set this. I'm just curious. Build general. Where's my assembly info? Settings. Create application settings. No. Build. Output events publish. Configs, properties, add new item. Add class. What about assembly? Assembly information file. Any info CS. Is that working? Okay, he did it. Kind of weird. Let's put it there, because I think it should be there. Let's see. Assembly has something which is wasn't there company? Assembly company is codingfreaks. Is that working? So now with this in place, what is my application company name? So let's, oh no, duplicate assembly company attribute. That is interesting, for sure. Is that true? Find all. That is interesting. Where is my other assembly company? Properties. Application here, general. Application, Windows application, .NET 10, Windows 7.0, enable, assembly name. Here. Assembly name is OBScene. Title, icon. I don't have one. I need to do that, guys, on a later point. So much to relearn. That is nice, actually. I have so much to relearn, but I think, to be honest, I think for today it's cool. We can change the values. Let me summarize what we did. Okay, so let's see where we are. So we have dark mode. Welcome. Welcome to the jungle. So we have dark mode in place. We can switch the dark mode in an ugly way and it's still not working, but scene detection is still in. So bottom left, bottom right, you can see it disappearing and reappearing. And we are syncing this. We also can add it in a stupid way, but this now means if I do another circle, which is at, let's say, here. So now I can do this, and we know why that is, because this thing is the actual drawing. Yeah, thank you for the subscription, Suncoast. Yeah, thanks. I like that you like it. Okay, so that works, guys. Let me go back. That works. We're good. It's still not complete, so I probably will do another session next week. And we try, in the meantime, I try to redo this structure because I figured out my error. I will do it off screen probably. If you want me to do that on screen and to do a live session, feel free to just write it into my channel if you want to witness this, but it's going to be me struggling a lot. Okay, that's why I'm not doing it right away. Yeah, I think that will be it. I really appreciate all the feedback that I got today. Pretty nice. We got a lot of views, like over 100 views. This is good for my channel. Yeah, I'm kind of doing something wrong. I guess in terms of marketing, I'm not on social media, so people don't know where I'm going live and whatever. I'm thinking about Twitch. I'm thinking about it. I don't like Twitch. I like YouTube more. But let's see. Maybe you guys need Twitch in order to be better informed, because I think it has better information for you when I'm going live or whatever. Just write me if you have something to say about all of that. If you think I'm doing something weird, not good, whatever, you know, just give it to me. I need to know stuff like that. So thanks for watching, and I think that's it. See you next.